Had to dig down with my screwdriver into every little gear to get all this stuff out. It's not enough to stop the engine, but it's still, I didn't want to keep it in there. So I have cleaned this thoroughly. So I don't want to spray paint it because this is a moving part here. So I'll have to brush paint it. I'm going to brush paint only the outside of the side frames. All this other stuff should be pretty much hidden away. That shouldn't be bad. I'm using the dollar store paint, and I'm also using a dollar store paintbrush for this. I found a really nice snowplow. Remind me if I forget. Remind me that I have a nice horn, and that I have to paint that too. So yeah, this dollar store paint is gonna be fine. Easy breezy lemon squeezy. I don't even need to get inside of the side frames. Just do the outside. That should be good enough. I have a video that hit last week. My video with the Hot Wheels Barbie Corvette. That was a good hit. It made got more view than my F59 video, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just the pink Barbie Corvette that I put as a thumbnail, but that got tons of views. Well, not exactly viral, 600 and something, but still it's more than the F59 video. So if you guys have any ideas of why that was such a big hit, put that in the comments below because I don't know why. If I knew why, and also people only watch like the few few first 30 seconds and then they go on to something else. If you guys know why that was such a hit, let me know. I'd be curious to find out. I decided to steal the ditch light piping from another engine because I really want to have ditch lights on this. So in order to put the ditch lights in, you have to remove the two parts of the shell. And these are floating a little bit. You have to make sure that they're nice and loose. Wow, that thing is really tight in there. Cardo engines, they use no glue, so it makes it easy to get back in there after a while. So make sure to drive them out. And the plastic stays flexible for years. Make sure that these are loose. And then we'll remove the top of the shell. It's held with these two little pins. We'll just push these out. Push these out very gently. And then the two steps here, they hold the cab in place. So we have to go and somehow get in there and push them out. So that also is a gentle operation. Double check to make sure everything's loose. And then we'll do the same thing. We find a little hole in there. And we pop the two steps. almost out. And then we have to pop out this little panel. There's two little pins that hold it there. Just pop this out like that. Oh, also don't forget the little handrails come out. There we go. Then we have access to this little panel, and the lead piping goes right in here. Goes in here like so, and in here like so. It's small parts, but it really is worth it in the end. There's not that many engine in N scale that have the lead piping like that. Yeah, I can see I'm completely off from where I should be. There, that looks way better. And then the little floor hides the rest of that. There, that looks good. So we put this back into the shell. Like that. And then we'll pop back the top of the shell here. You have to spread out your handrails. You basically have to be able to look at both sides at once. But these two, they just went right in place. That is awesome. That looks great. We'll spread out the battery boxes a little bit. Spread out the other battery box. And that just snaps right back in. Now I've got my ditch light piping right where it should be. Pretty happy with that. Then all I gotta do is pop the handrails back in, and that will be that. There, was out of focus a little bit. Perfect. Now I'm getting ready to rebuild the engine. So on these, you start with the side frames. And these, they have a direction. Let me double check. Yes, they kinda do have a direction. If you look carefully, you'll see there's a bit that's worn out here. So the suspension part should go in there. This suspension should match the area that's a little bit worn, like this. And then once you got the first one placed, the other one is the exact same thing. There's a worn area here for the suspension, and you put a little suspension there. Now these, there's nothing to hold them in place. So we're going to use the wheels to hold them in place. Once you have the first one put in, then it becomes real easy. The wheels are going to hold these two strips in place. So I'm using my finger on the one end, then I'll put the wheel on the other end, and that will hold it together. And that's the way you gotta look at it, like it's not a race, because you're gonna lose it. So there we go, the first one's in, rolls very freely. That's what I like about these. The gear on these is in the middle, so there's no real direction for that. You can put it any which way. That's good to know. So you take your time, put them in the proper hole for them. They roll very freely. That is some amazing stuff. And then we'll put the middle one, which has a suspension. Put the middle one last. You spread out the side frames just enough to get the axle in the little cubby hole for it. So that's one. Spread out the other one just enough to get it in. And that should have a little bit of suspension. Now it has a little bit of suspension. And then that looks a little strange, you know, the green middle with the outside black. But I want to stay away from putting paint in the moving parts. That's a sacrifice I had to do. And then this thing, obviously this long part here goes towards the fuel tank. It matches this long part. And that just snaps right in like that. Test it to be sure there's no rolling resistance. Should be pretty easy to move. Yeah, beautiful. Now we're going to put back this tower and the little worm gear. Now remember that this is very easy to lose. So these, usually they rest here. Make sure you get everything lined up properly. But before I do that, I am going to lubricate it. Now to lubricate these, you just need one drop. That will be good. So one drop on this side, one drop on the other side. And that comes to rest here. This little bracket. And then you bring in this little tower, and that will hold it in place. Then we'll check it. Make sure that everything's working well. That feels great. So that's done. I'll do the exact same thing for the other side.